In this video, I'm going to walk you through how I replaced my 9-to-5 income while only working about 25 hours a week. I'm going to talk about the layers that I built, the order I built them in, and the one thing I did to make it more sustainable and a little less scary when I did decide to make that leap and quit my 9-to-5. If you're new here, my name is Rebecca. I am a DJ, a music producer, a teacher, and a freelance marketer. I left my full-time job in 2023 and I now make more than I made in my full-time job, only working about 25 hours a week. And I built this across multiple income streams. This is just my story, but if you're looking to build something on the side like I did, or you'd like to have more flexible hours and more time to spend with loved ones or on other creative projects, I'm hoping that this video helps. So let's dive in. So the first layer wasn't necessarily about money, it was more about proof. I was working my full-time job in marketing and DJing and producing on the side. And for a while, I thought that music was going to be the thing that replaced my income, and it is a part of it. But while I was building, things were pretty inconsistent. I would only have a DJ gig sporadically. I was still building up my music catalog, so royalties weren't really coming in. But I took a music production and artist development program in early 2020, and after having a couple years experience releasing music and having some success, they had asked me to become a teacher and share my experiences, share my knowledge with the students. And this was the proof that showed that I can make money outside of a corporate work structure using skills that I had built and passions that I had, and it was worth someone else paying me money to do so. And honestly, that proof is so crucial in the beginning because you start to doubt what's possible. And so seeing that proof early on and seeing that somebody's willing to pay you just opens your eyes to what's possible. I'm working full-time, I'm DJing and producing, I'm releasing music consistently, I now start teaching, and DJ gigs started to become more and more consistent. I got an agent, I started booking shows more consistently, building relationships, and so by the time I was thinking about leaving my job, my DJ income had gone from very random and sporadic to something that I could actually count on. So while I was building up my DJing and getting the consistent shows and teaching and working my full-time job, I also decided before I quit, I was going to save an emergency fund. And this to me was crucial. This was key because this was giving myself a runway so that I wouldn't be taking shows that didn't make sense for me or making decisions based on pressure or undercharging or taking clients that just didn't align. And so I decided I was going to save up 6 months of an emergency fund of my base necessities, and that includes paying my mortgage, paying my utilities, having enough money for food, just enough that it covers the bare necessities for me to live off of for 6 months. And then I had a timeline of when I was gonna have that 6 months emergency fund saved. And so by the time I left my job in March 2023, I had that financial security in place through the emergency fund, the part-time income teaching, and the consistent shows. Actually, when I quit my job, I had a 23-date bus tour all lined up. That was the push that I needed to make that leap and quit my job, because I was actually really scared to do it because I knew I just wasn't going to be able to do all the things I was doing and work my full-time job while being on a bus. A couple years later, after I quit, I started freelancing, specifically marketing, which is the skill that I had in my day job that I'd been building for several years. Now, adding in this freelancing piece was the thing that really made things feel solid because I can scale it up when things were a bit slow with shows and with opportunities, or I could scale it back when I had more shows or I wanted to focus more on music. This wasn't about replacing my salary with another salary. It was about adding a stream that I could control. And so now all of the streams that I have are teaching, DJing, music production, collecting royalties through that, and freelance marketing. And all of those things combined are what allowed me to make more money than I did in my day job while working less hours. To recap, here's a sequence if you want to write it down. Monetize a skill that you already have while you still have your job. Build toward consistency, not just ebbs and flows. Save money before you quit. Save up that emergency fund so that you're quitting from a place of stability and not survival. And then when you quit, you can add more layers if you need to. Now, this may not be a fast process. It wasn't for me, at least, especially pursuing something creative like music. That takes time to build up your brand. But who knows? This could be a fast process for you. You can start freelancing first and getting clients that way, and then quit your job, and then start building other streams of income. But if this is something that you're working towards, I'm gonna keep making videos like this on freelancing, building multiple income streams, and just designing your work around your life. And if you are interested in freelancing, watch this video here where I talk about making your first $1,000 freelancing. And I'll see you in the next video.